The gift of the Magi. Della counted the money. It was $1.87. That was all that she could save on the vegetables and meat during 5 months. Della counted once more, $1.87. And the next day would be Christmas. There was nothing to do but sit down and cry, so Della cried. When she finished crying, she dried her face and came up with the window. She saw a grey cat walking along the grey fence in the grey backyard. She sighed unhappily that the money was not enough to buy her husband Jim a gift. Many hours she had spent planning to buy something nice for him, something fine and rare, something that could be worth belonging to him. There was a tall glass mirror between the windows of the room. Suddenly Della turned from the window and stood before the glass mirror and looked at herself. Then she pulled down her hair and let it fall its full length. Now Jim and Della had two things that they valued. One was Jim's gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. The other was Della's hair. So now Della's beautiful hair fell about her, shining like a brown butterfly. It reached below her knees and almost covered her. And then quickly she put it up again. She stood still while a few tears fell on the floor. She put on her coat and her old brown hat. Then she ran out of the door and down the street. She stopped at the sign. Madame Sophronia has goods of all kinds. Della ran up at the steps of the shop. "Will you buy my hair?" asked Della. "I buy hair," said Madame. "Take your head over and let us have a look at it." Down came the beautiful brown waterfall of hair. $20, said Madame. During the next 2 hours Della looked in all the shops to choose a gift for Jim. She found at last. It was a chain made of silver. It was perfect for Jim's gold watch. As soon as she saw it, she knew that it must be for him. She gave the shopkeeper $21 and hurried home with the 87 cents that was left. When Della arrived home, she began to repair what was left of her hair. It was a very big job. It took her 40 minutes to make herself look like a schoolboy with her head covered with tiny round curls of hair. She looked in the glass mirror carefully. "If Jim doesn't kill me before he takes a second look at me," she said to herself, "he will say I look like a song girl. But what could do? Oh, what could do? I do with $1.87. At 7 o'clock that night the coffee was made and the pan on the stove was hot and ready to cook the meat. Jim was never late coming home from work. Della held the silver chain in her hand and sat near the door. Then she heard his step and she turned white for just a minute. She whispered, "Please God, make him think I'm still pretty." The door opened and Jim stepped in. He looked thin and very serious. Poor man, he was only 22 and he had to care for a wife. He needed a new coat and gloves to keep his hands warm. Jim stopped inside the door. When he saw Della, there was an expression in his eyes that she couldn't understand, and it frightened her. It was not anger, no surprise, not fear. He simply looked at her with a strange expression on his face. Della went to him. "Jim, my life," she cried, "don't look at me that way. I had my hair cut and sold because I wanted to give you a gift. My hair will grow out again. It grows very fast. Say Merry Christmas, Jim, and let us be happy. You don't know what a beautiful, nice gift I have for you." "You have cut off your hair?" asked Jim slowly, as he hadn't understood her words. "Cut it off and sold it," said Della. "Do you not like me just as well? I am the same person without my hair, right?" Jim looked about the rooms as he were looking for something. Then he took a packet from his coat and threw it on the table. "I don't think there is any haircut that could make me like my girl less," he said. "But if you open that package, you may see why you frightened me at first." She quickly tore the straightened paper. There was a scream of joy, and then, alas, a change to tears and cries, for there were the combs that Della had wanted ever since she saw them in a shop window, beautiful combs made of shells with jewels at the edge. They cost a lot of money. She had wanted them without ever hoping to have them. and now the beautiful combs were her, but the hair was gone. She held the combs and said with a smile, "My hair grows so fast, Jim." Then Adela jumped up and cried, "Oh, oh!" Jim hadn't yet seen his beautiful gift, and held it on her open hands. The silver chain seemed so bright. "Isn't it wonderful, Jim? I looked all the town to find it. Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it." But Jim said nothing and fell on the coat, smiling. "Dell," said he, "let us put our Christmas gifts away and keep them a while. They are too nice to use just right now. I sold my gold watch to get the money to buy the combs for your hair." The Magi who brought gifts to the baby Jazz were wise men. They invented the art of giving Christmas gifts, and their gifts were wise. This is a story of two young people who give for each other their greatest treasures. It tells us that love and sacrifice is the greatest gift in the world.